What's going on, guys? Don over at Easy Button REI and Beast Mode CRM, and today we're going to go over virtual wholesaling as well as virtual driving for dollars and some of the applications that will allow you to do this. So wanted to talk over what that looks like, what applications are needed, and just kind of do a step-by-step walkthrough of what that looks like and what it will allow you to do. So some of the applications that we're going to talk over is a Deal Machine. So Deal Machine allows you to store your driving for dollars items into a list, and you can do some skip tracing or mailers through that application as well. And then we're going to use Zapier to connect Deal Machine and Podio or Beast Mode together. By having Beast Mode all connected into this as you're talking to the sellers, if they're not ready to go right now, you'll have the CRM where you can put them in for a appointment, virtual appointment, or you'll have the ability to put them in there so that you can use the follow-up, and whether that be the drip follow-up with text and ringless, or you simply putting the date and calling back every 30 to 45 days and verifying how things are going, checking in, building that rapport. That'll be allowed and available by using the Zapier connection with Deal Machine and Podio. The other side, I want to talk about PropStream. So PropStream, we're going to look at using to pull in some additional information on the properties. As you're talking with these sellers virtually, you'll use PropStream to get some information, whether it be when it was bought, how much it was bought for, the dates that it was bought, things like that, any liens that it might have. All that stuff can be looked at inside of PropStream. And then you can use PropStream to skip trace if you'd like, or there's some other applications such as Launch Control or Lead Sherpa that have skip tracing available, paper hit type skip tracing. Take a look at those as well. But we'll go through this and kind of show you what I mean as far as virtually driving using Google Maps. So I have just the Google Maps up here. I've got a property that I've pulled in here, and you could use the street view to walk around, if you will. And so you can kind of see I've got that right there. You can walk around and look at the different properties on the street if you're in this market. Once you've found one that you want to take a look at, you can click the little yellow man right here, and that will be the street view images. That's what you want to click. What that's going to do is when you have the Deal Machine app and you have this Chrome extension right here, and I'll get you a link to this in the comments or details below, that will install into your Chrome browser. And once you've connected that to your Deal Machine app and got everything connected, not too hard to do that. You're just putting in your credentials for Deal Machine. What it'll allow you to do is once you're in this map area, you'll be able to click the little yellow dude, and you'll be able to come up here at that point and add a property, that specific property, to a list. You can even start mailers if you want to. And once that is added, and obviously you'd probably want to do a couple of these, drive through different areas virtually, adding these properties. Once they're added and you come into your Deal Machine login, you'll be able to look at the properties in here. So if you're in here, we can go into deals and we can do map or grid or whatever. And then when we're in there, we'll be able to pull up the ones that we just added. So give me a second, I'm going to pull up the one that we just added. Okay, so we have the property here that we added with that Deal Machine app. You can see the different information that we have in here. Any type of information that was brought in, you can click down here. If it's available, it'll pull it in. You can see the different information, have your different tags and information, owners, email and or phone number. If they have it, you can pull that stuff back. Now with Deal Machine, you can actually connect it with Zapier so that when this status is selected to a certain status, it pushes into Podio or Beast Mode that we have. Now normally the way I set this up is appointment set. When the status changes to appointment set, we want to push it into Beast Mode or Podio. You can choose anything you like. There's different statuses there. You see the different ones with follow-up. That'd be another one that I would set up. So another Zap where I'd set it up that when I select follow-up, it automatically goes into the Beast Mode Deal Machine app. And so if I come over to Beast Mode, we have Beast Mode up here. And if I click, you can get a Deal Machine app installed by our support team. So what we're looking at doing here is when you're adding different properties inside of Deal Machine and it meets a certain status or criteria, you're going to set up Zapier to push it over to Beast Mode. And so I have Zapier right here, and I just want to show you it's a two-step process, and we can set it up where when Deal Machine has something happen, then we're going to create a new item inside of Podio. So Deal Machine status has changed, and you can see we've got that connected. We had to do custom follow-up. That's what we're looking for. When something happens and the status is follow-up, we're going to go ahead and create an item inside of Podio. And inside of Podio, this is what it looks like. We're pushing in the owner's information, any of the phone numbers, any of the different notes or things that we've had inside of Deal Machine. Bed bath counts, all that good stuff is getting pushed into the Deal Machine app. And so the Deal Machine app is here. You can see that we have some of these different views over here. And if I click into one of these, this is what's getting pushed in from Deal Machine. Okay. And once it's into the app here, we have the choice. We can either leave it inside of the Deal Machine app, inside of Podio, or we can push it over to the main Property Lead app. Now, why would we do that? Property Lead app inside of Beast Mode has follow-up drips connected to it. So if you have Beast Mode, you have the built-in content for drip text messages and drip ringless voicemails. And you have the ability to turn on the next contact date, where that would tell you, hey, when it's time to follow up with these people, it's going to be in front of you to follow up with them inside of the Property Lead app. And I'll show you that here in a minute. But this is making it so that, hey, Deal Machine, you're driving for dollars virtually. You're adding it to Deal Machine. You're going to use things like PropStream, Lead Sherpa, Launch Control, one of those to skip trace one-time hit and get the phone number and information for them. And at that point, you're going to go ahead and get it over to Podio by updating the status of either follow-up, appointment set, whatever you want to set up inside of Zapier. And when that happens, it comes over here and we'll turn on the drip sequences. Again, I'll show that in a minute. But I want to come over to PropStream. So PropStream, if you have an address, you can type in the address and we'll get some additional information. Okay. Based off of this, you can see that we have some different estimated comps and equity, things like that on this specific property. And if we want to, we can scroll. Oh, didn't mean to scroll out that far, but we can scroll out and click on these different items and get some additional information on surrounding properties if we're trying to get that from there. Now I'm going to pull up some of the information inside of PropStream that this one has for the details. So you can see here, this is some of the different information that's available. Comparables. See, it'll pull up some of the different stuff here and show you the different surrounding areas. Tax information, any mortgage information, and then documents if available. So those are some of the things that are available inside of PropStream, especially if you're driving for dollars and niche down to certain ones that you want to reach out to. This is good to use. And then if you're skip tracing, you can come over here and skip trace with PropStream as well. If you're looking at some additional sources, Launch Control has a pay-per hit, and Lead Sherpa has a pay-per hit as well, you can see here. So those are different sources for skip tracing, getting the phone numbers, getting the email address information. And then at that point, you can input that information into this item. You see here, you have the different areas to put in the owner's information. And that way it's saved inside here, which also then allows you to either send mail through here if you wanted to, or you could update the status as we talked about to appointment set or follow-up, get it into Beast Mode's app, and then decide, okay, I'm going to push it to the property app so that I can turn on the follow-up, things like that. And if you want to do that, I'm going to pull up the Property Leads app here in a second, and we'll take a look at what that looks like. Okay, so I have the Property Leads app, which you see here. That's where it's being pushed to when we push on that button inside of the Deal Machine app. It creates an item that you see here, comes in as a new lead. And at this point, we can either put it to an appointment set or follow-up. And then once we put it into one of those statuses, it'll show up in the different buckets. So if the appointment is in the next 7 days, you'll see the date and how many you have for that day. There's different status for the appointments that you have. And if you're putting it into follow-up, you'll see it here. If you put a next contact date of when you plan on calling them again, it'll show up here, and we're going to walk through that. So I'm going to click open one of the test items that we pushed from the Deal Machine app. And so what we would be doing is at this point, making the outbound attempt to try to get a hold of them. If we're going to put it into follow-up because they told us they're going to sell in 3, 6, 12 months, you can put a status of add to follow-up. And then at that point, you would put a next contact date of, 3, 6, 12 months out, or even if you wanted to, I'd recommend maybe every 30 to 45 days reaching out to them. So put that date of when you plan on reaching out to them. For this example, I'm going to put today's date so you can kind of see what it looks like when it shows up inside of the property lead view area. So you see that now that showed up. And so that next contact date only showed up here because it's today. Or if we missed it, but it's been the last 30 days, you'd see it here and how many we have for that day. If the date to follow up is not today, meaning it's next week or next month, you would not see it here at all. You would see it down here, but it's not going to bother you here because it's not time to follow up with them. So you can click this, and if it was today's date, it would load up the one item that you need to follow up with. You can come in here and make the follow-up happen, and then put the next contact date either for a month out if they're not ready right now, or change it to appointment set or whatever the case may be. But that next contact date is what shows up there. So if we're going to turn on the drip sequences, if we're going to put it up into follow-up, you have the follow-up details section. You can click that and it'll jump you down to the bottom appointment follow-up section. Or you can see that it's down at the very bottom here if we scroll down as well. So it's all in the same app. It's just jumping you from the top down to the bottom here. And then this will jump us to the top if we want to. And so here we can put it into follow-up. And we can type in SMS here or VM here and pick a drip sequence when you have workspace with us. And there's 4 to choose from. So I'm going to show you what that looks like here in a second. Okay, so we can type in SMS and the 4 will drop down. You got short-term, long-term. You can pick between those. And once you pick one, it will automatically put in a date that it's going to follow up, turn on the content, and it'll start dripping out that text message at that point. And keep on rolling with the content that's available in here that we provide out of the box. Ringless voicemail, if you have this option and want this option, when you type in VM, you'll go ahead and be able to pick one. Again, it will fill in the date field and text box or voicemail box, and it will drip that out, and you'll be able to have it drip out. So this works when you have anything in follow-up, and the next action is in follow-up. So if we change it to, let's say, appointment set, remove from list, anything like that, the drip sequences automatically turn off. But that will allow you to keep in front of people, allow you to follow up with your different leads that you've put in from Deal Machine. And so if they're ready right now, obviously go ahead and do that virtual appointment, whether it's FaceTime, Facebook Live, or Zoom call, and get in front of them. But if they're not ready right now, and most find that 60% of their deals, or in that area at least, is coming through follow-up. So put them into the follow-up drip, keep following up with them, calling them, have the text, the ringless stuff going out, and between that and what you got going on, you'll be able to pull in deals on a virtual wholesale model, as well as a virtual driving for dollars. If you got questions, anything that you have comment-wise, feel free to reach out to us, support at easybuttonrei.com, or jump on Facebook and look for Donald Ross. Picture of a lion, reach out to me, any questions, concerns you have. Would love to chat with you, but we just wanted to show you kind of how you could drive for dollars virtually, especially with some of the stuff that's going on lately. You can virtually drive, add it to Deal Machine, and then either send the mail right there, or go ahead, skip trace, and get that thing into beast mode and do the follow-up and pull the deals that way as well. All right, guys, any questions, reach out. Love to talk to you. Bye.